Who are you? An open letter to humanity. This letter shall be your mirror as it is mine, to gaze into with delight or be repelled and disgusted as per your own internal judgments, for no one else can be that for you or for me. Are you enlightened spiritually or encased in a material tomb of your own making? By the end of this, only you will know, so the pleading of ignorance will be as an ember cast off into the wind from your own fires, with eye to convince you of things you are and of things you are not. But your heart will correct you otherwise every time. There is no escape from that. As you, the reader, or in this case the listener, walk through your daily life asleep or awake, you will come into contact with me, for I am everywhere and everyone, because I am human. I, the everyone, has much in common with you. I breathe, I feel pain, I bleed when I am cut, I cry when I am hurt, I laugh when I am joyful, and most of all, I love. My love, however, is unconditional. It knows no borders, no races, no religions, no governments, no barriers whatsoever. You see, when love is what love is, there is nothing that can stop it, and certainly nothing that can conquer it. The only changing factor in that truth is you, and what you believe to be true and real, and what you know to be true and real, based on the terms and conditions you place on conditional love versus unconditional. Are you the one that fell in love with someone, but because of your upbringing, programs of societal conditions forbade you your own heart? Was your program one of division from humanity, based on religion, gender, politics, or bias, etc., based on the families you were born into? Have you dared to actually ever stand in your own heart and purposes to reach beyond that little box you were thrust into at birth? By observation only. It is easy to see our inhumanity in our day-to-day lives being played out, and all of it based on concepts and stigmas that were created for you and not by you. As I look around me into the everyone of humanity, time and time again I see the same destructive forces being played out by those in ignorance of who they are. All too often, the being of you is defined by the job you have, the uniform you wear, and the imprints placed upon you by those closest to you since birth. Typically, many become the vicarious apparitions of their parents and remain humanly dead for a lifetime, and who knows for how many other lifetimes they've been caught in the same programs over and over. They're easy to spot. They are the ones that like to feign authority over their fellow humans via many means and methods. These are the ones that like to inflict harm on their fellow humanity. And usually at the beck and call of another, they have given their own authority away to. This is the master-slave paradigm program. You will see them in courtrooms called judges and lawyers. You will see them in banks, governments, churches, precincts, armies, and everywhere uniforms are involved. Uniform means one form, so suits and ties, clerical vestments and robes, and all manner of outward apparel makes them uniformed, and slaves to one master or another. They are the ones that measure their strength and how much control they can exert over others by deceptive and oft-times violent means. These humans, if they can be called that, are more enslaved than the rest of the everyone. They will knowingly and unknowingly inflict harm upon others in humanity and puff up their own chests with pride after having done so, and I'm sure you recognize your mirror already. Yes, you, the closet deviant who practices many of the dark arts. You are the ones with child porn on your computer. Some of you are the rapist of children and the traffickers of your fellow man, be it by means of handing out a traffic ticket or being involved in a child sex ring. You're all the same to me, since willing harm on anyone is willing harm on everyone, but mostly upon yourself. You see, I cannot judge you, nor would I, because that is what you're doing right now. You are standing in the shadow of yourself, where only you can give it light. I know your dirty little secrets, and they just came into view for you to see. You are the writers of falsehoods in the media, the newspapers and magazines. You are the purveyors of fear and deception, and have your 30 pieces of silver every week proving that Judas is within. You are the salesmen of liars, murderers and thieves, propagating the wishes of your masters, and masters you indeed have, and your paycheck is your proof. You have become the damned and the damnable of your own doing, and your own free will choosing, where ignorance is not your defense, Your own heart, if you have one, will ferret it out for you, where all I have to do is but mention it. You know you are the rapist, the thief, the pedophile, the murderer, and facilitators of war and harm. There is but one law that proves your free will choice, and the ignorance card cannot be played here because that self-same card awaits you upon its inevitable return, so that you may experience everything you have ever done to harm another. It's a simple rule, but yields the powers of the universe and its creator. Such is natural law. Many a saying or anecdote has been used to describe it, but suffice it to say it in its original form. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Unfortunately, the mostly ignorant fail to see the mirror in this one, and time and again, they get to suffer the inevitable swing back of the pendulum, be it in this life or the next. Have no doubts, those that inflict evil in any and all of its forms can never escape this truth by simply thinking that they will die and be done with it. No, that's not how it works. And depending on the intent of those that you harmed, that which inevitably comes round will come round faster than you may expect now. It's quite simple, really. If you wished harm upon me, then it is because it is you that wishes to experience that mirror. In your actions, from spiritual precedent intent, you've already judged yourself, as I have done the same for me. Every ticket you write, every false article you air, every home you steal, every child you rape, etc., ad nauseum, is coming to a being real soon, and that being is you. Alas, you sit and gloat at your fortune stolen from others, your hedge fund brilliance in creating false algorithms to perpetuate the frauds until that math invariably fails too. These are the houses you have built on the sand, the false idols you worship, and the whore of Babylon called commerce you greedily perform cunnilingus on after the millions have bettered her before you. You do not know who you are, because you are a false entity, an id entity, created by another, and has you enslaved by virtue of your own willing blindness. You, who claim to be humanity's best, based on your illusional position of feigned power, gloat in the creation of your own hells. You are the murderers of children because somehow you think your children are superior, and create the same vicious circle that has plagued humanity for countless eons. You measure value in material things, titles, and all manner of lower mind ego-driven lusts that will keep you enslaved until you can face yourself in humanity's mirror. As the saying goes, if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out, which is to mean metaphorically that if you see something within yourself that is offensive, stop doing it. Only in the realization of this fact can you repent at all. This goes far beyond the literal translations of the spiritual tomes that are being used to great effect to keep humanity warring due to its god of war teachings and fanatical followers. If your gain comes at the expense of others, be it financial or lives lost, you are guilty by association. If you work for or manufacture weapons, ammunition, and similar tools of murder, you are guilty. If you work for any corporations that promotes war, you are as guilty as the jarhead that pulls the trigger or launches the missiles. If you are a pilot and work to chemspray, geoengineer the planet, you are guilty of genocide by the act and to you, the best and the brightest that are bought off by the think tanks, you are nothing more than a sellout of humanity for the same 30 pieces of silver. This list is almost endless for the entanglement of humanity in its own destruction, and all you can say is, I'm just doing my job, and I have a family to feed, inasmuch as somehow your life is superior to another's. You are delusional, and your masters have you duped, and have used your ignorance and greed to accomplish that. Corporatism is merely the new and improved branding of serfdom and slavery. You know who you are, and what you have sold your humanity and soul for, yet you haven't got the foggiest clue as to why. Alas, you will preach truth and honor from your fictitious pulpits, and then rape a child, bed your neighbor's wife or husband. You all travel to your respective churches and think you have somehow been absolved by confessions of your sins. I assure you, confessions of your deviant acts are only the beginning of your spiritual walk, and you're not even standing yet. You will run and hide behind others like you for protection, and all the while be protecting the very monsters that own you and your soul. They're the ones laughing at how deeply you have been tricked into subservience, while getting little pats on the head and some table scraps for treats. Sadly, you drool for these pittances inasmuch as you lust to go out day after day and fulfill your quotas for your slightly higher master. You will partake in stealing people's homes, without the slightest clue as to why, and only because some lawyer or judge says you should. You will use and have used violence against the peaceful to satiate your bloodlust, but that is normal for an animal still locked into the predator-prey paradigm, and you will claim to be evolved. Evolved into what? Certainly not anything resembling a human, because humans don't feed on each other. That is cannibalism. Humans don't rape children, murder children, and destroy their lives. Humans enhance the lives of all around them, because they are evolved. Woe to ye lawyers, indeed, for you have corrupted the true laws of this universe for gain and profit at the expense of others. This includes priests, rabbis, imams, government officials, banking so-called elites or no-lights, lawyers, police, judges, weapons manufacturers, and all manner of useful idiots that claim to have authority over another. For those that have a Bible upbringing, time to shed a little truth as to why some guy really got crucified. He decided to go up against the bankers and moneylenders in the temple, the only time he ever set foot in one. And then what happened? Shortly after exposing the banksters for what they really are, thieves and parasitical vampires, he found himself on trial by the same own judge, where it was put to public jury, and he was crucified while a known criminal and murderer was set free. Yes, that is exactly what you're doing now. I find it sickeningly humorous that many of you are doing the same crimes millennia later, and you're still too dumb to see it. You have traded in what is true and right for profits and profits. You will pass your little dictates like they matter somehow. You will harm people for your gain because your job and subsequent masters say so, and in that you feel justified. As stated previously, the clock is ticking, and the pendulum is here for the old what goes round comes round festival of lights. Unfortunately for you, the golden rule is beyond fact. For those that have committed harm against me, I grant them their wish to experience that which they wished upon me in the fullest sense and loving compassion, that maybe this time they will learn and they will see the mistakes for what they are. I dared to turn over the tables of your masters, and you served them willingly, with the glee that a dog experiences as it licks its genitals. You have chosen the acts of an animal, and will therefore have judged yourself accordingly. To thine own self be true fits nicely there as well. You chose excuses written by another, and have bought your own damnation in your actions. After all, it is all about intent at the end of the day, right? Isn't that what your damnable courts are all about? Intent? Alas, it is never fully explained as to what intent is really all about. It's quite simple, in that the intention to do something always precedes the actions of the everyone. In that light, courts are completely unnecessary, because we must judge ourselves in our actions after the fact by the very intention that has been revealed in the action. The innocence or guilt is already prima facie evidenced by your actions, be they in ignorance of the natural law or willful knowledge of the same. No one escapes the truth. No one. If you are a worker in the places that creates anything harmful to humans, you are guilty by the act of working there, of and by your free will choice and agreed upon intention. No exceptions. If you buy the creations of these same creators of harm, be it junk food, vaccines, weapons, slaughterhouses, etc., you are as guilty as the one who creates it for debt note scraps from the whore of Babylon herself. There is no excuse for harm where it is exposed, and all are guilty by omission or commission of the crime. Is the getaway car driver any less culpable of a robbery or murder because they weren't part of the physical act being undertaken? By agreements, we are all held accountable to our actions by the fact that the intent was there and the consent was given. If you carry the mark of the beast, which is in fact the very name you think is yours, you are of the walking dead and one of the zombies being referred to so much on mainstream media and programs. Unfortunately, Most of you are too busy being entertained to notice these things being laid bare before your very shut eyes. The fools and zombies are easy to spot as well, and you'll likely get a sense of demeanor with the next few comments. They are the ones that scoff at anything that wasn't regurgitated from the TV set, the newspapers, and any other means of government propaganda that is owned by their masters. They are the sports stats experts, the ones who can recite the latest headline dramas to perfection. They are the watchers of media shills and talk show puppets, and they will defend others' ideas with a ferocity that would make one think that they were their original thoughts. They are the ones that race to pick up the latest alcoholic poison, their bags of processed poison chips and dip, and are usually the first to bitch about some government official they foolishly voted for, thinking somehow that the current thief or child rapist in power is going to do something different. They are the ones that head to their meetings in the morning to get the latest directives from their masters, be they precinct captains or corporate manager. They are all the same regardless. They are the slaves to the mini-master, who is slave to another master, and on it goes, up to the real master that is pulling all the puppet strings. To see who you really are, you may want to watch Pinocchio again, or if you're able to read and write above a kindergarten level, pick up the book. Based on the signatures I've seen over the years, there are many that barely have the ability at all. Much can be shown in your handwriting skills or lack thereof. Are you beginning to see the mirrors yet? Are you beginning to start measuring yourself, or is the urge to get get the latest porn mag or video overwhelming you right now? I know who you are, and you do too. It's never easy looking in such a vile reflection, now is it? While that may be difficult, what is coming for you in correcting it makes the reflection pale in comparison. Think of all the times you have harmed another and knew it. To that pendulum that is now swinging back and picking up momentum. And while there isn't a way to stop it, there is a way to lessen its blow. But I don't think you have the heart or the savvy to do that. Call me a realist. Do you honestly believe you can handle having your family torn to shreds, to have everything you've ever known stolen, and all the while be defamed for daring to bring truth into the light where your evil has been so prevalent? Will you be able to stand the incredible tests that are coming your way that will tear you asunder, and then be able to look at those that did it and say, I love you unconditionally? Again, I'm being a realist and will answer for you. Not bloody likely, but experience this you will, this lifetime or the next, as you move back down a few degrees on the creation scale, only to have to work your way back up, since your ability to be human is far from expectations. Real or otherwise, that is the realm of vampires, and the sun is on the horizon, and you're caught out in the middle of a desert with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Yes, you will feel the searing and burning of the truth as it vanquishes all the blackness and scabs of evil that you have so greedily collected in the actions of your intentions that already have you judged. Alas, and how can I forgive you or anyone, since in that action I have judged you, where there is no need? So all I can offer is a simple, so be it. Your choice, and I will not violate the golden rule any longer. It is not that I wish any harm upon anyone, for that is madness in the mirror of creation of cause and effect. It is also not that I can wish for things to be different for you, because again, I cannot. You made your wish, and I made mine, and the bed we all make is one that we will inevitably have to sleep in. The mirror is yours, for you are the traitors of humanity, the rapers of children, the murderers of the masses, the willing creators of genocide, the psychopathic mutilators and purveyors of false religions and worshippers of false idols. You have the mark of the beast, and you gobble greedily at corporate cock, and all the while the whore of Babylon coos at your willingness to do so. No, I'm afraid you don't know who you are, because that requires awareness of others beyond your self-serving gluttony and your covenants with dark principalities that most of you aren't even aware of either. So dumbed down you are to such a degree you can't even see help when it arrives, and where it only wished to set you free. You have been duped into giving up your soul, and I honestly wonder, how many lifetimes and body deaths is it going to take before you even begin to awaken? The recent mass die-offs of animals around our beautiful planet are making room for the new arrivals that have failed humanity school. And guess who the new students are? Indeed, the circle and cycles of life are cruel, if not at least fitting. Indeed, how many pearls of wisdom have been cast before you, and still you are less than swine. Yes, I feel for you, and all I feel is pity and remorse that I could not do more to awaken you to your heart and your humanity. There is an old saying that one should never turn anyone away from your door, because it may be an angel knocking. The day has come, and the angels will knock no more, for time is up. May you have mercy on your own soul, now while you can, because the truth is, you're the only one that can. With unconditional love, and the power to grant your wishes willingly, Kate of Gaia.